My brother cleared out my savings account in order to pay back his gambling debts, and my parents somehow convinced me to forgive him. He did something even worse, so I exposed him in front of everyone at Thanksgiving dinner. A few years ago, my brother asked for my credit card so he could order himself takeout as his card was locked. Instead of takeout, he used my card to access my savings account and cleared out every dime to pay back his gambling debt. These savings were meant to be used on a house, but now they were gone. When I found out what he did, I went insane. I locked myself in my apartment and started drinking, then sent a text to my brother telling him I hate him and he can rot in hell. The very next morning, my parents showed up. They said what he did was forgivable because family is more important than money. I stared in disbelief, then yelled, "Of course they say that. He's their precious golden boy who could do no wrong." My mother started crying crocodile tears, but when she saw I wasn't budging, she began screaming. At that moment, I kicked them out, telling them that just like my brother, they could go to hell. My brother had taken over $75,000 from me, and now I had to renew my lease in an apartment for another year when I should have been using that money on a down payment. It had taken me years to build my bank account to that amount, and it was gone in an instant. My parents complaining that they hadn't seen me in a while. I would remind them why I wasn't going to visit them, which was my brother Jim, and they would bring up how I would regret it when I'm old and gray. And they said I need to cherish the time we have with each other because it was limited. I agreed and told them that they always had the option to come visit me. Truthfully, I didn't want them to, but I knew the game they were trying to play and I wasn't having it. My mom told me that Jim said he missed me and that he would always love the little Sarah, who we had to clean up after she got spaghetti in her hair. When I was a toddler, my mom gave me spaghetti while I was sitting in my high chair. I hated spaghetti since I was young, and that day was the day she found out. After I tasted it, I began throwing it, kicking and screaming. The kitchen was a mess by the time I got done with it. I pulled my hair with my tomato-stained fingers. I was too young to remember, but mom would always tell me this story, and it was always funny to me. That was when Jim came to the rescue. He took me out of the high chair and held me. He cleaned me up and helped mom clean the kitchen. He was roughly 12 at this point. Hearing my mom tell me that story again made me cherish our family a little bit more. In a moment of utter weakness, I decided that I would give Jim another chance, but with more boundaries set this time. Forgiving him took time. As the days turned into weeks, it still pained me to think about him or see his face, because I was reminded of the progress that I had made for my first house was out of the window. I tried my best to be cordial with him, and my parents seemed to like the improvements in our relationship. They invited me more often for family dinners, game nights, and movie nights in an attempt to get our relationship back to what it was before, but the thought still stung. After a few months of rebuilding my trust in Jim again, I felt like I could laugh a little more and be myself again around him. I didn't have to guard my purse as much anymore, and soon we would hang out by ourselves and go on brother-sister outings. One of our favorite things to do together was ziplining. There was this ziplining place near my parents' house where we would go a lot as teenagers. The zipline started from the top of a cliff, sort of in the woods, and would drop you off into the lake. It was so high up, and I never got used to the drop, but it was fun going there with Jim again. When we returned home from our little adventure, we went to a fast food place back in the city because we were starving. As we pulled into the drive-thru to pay, I noticed that my main credit card was missing. This was my everyday credit card. I wondered if it could have fallen out of my pocket at the ziplining place. Jim asked me if everything was okay, and I told him that my credit card was missing.